Hi, I'm Kira and this is Keshav, and today we're presenting on the bilingual advantage in cognitive control.
So, are bilinguals better at cognitive control? Cognitive control, or also known as executive functioning, is a catch all term for advanced mental abilities that allow us to control our thoughts and behavior, such as focusing on a goal, ignoring distractions, switching attention, and planning for the future. Now, this requires two things: interference suppression and response inhibition. So, why do people believe that bilinguals have an advantage? People think bilinguals have a better cognitive control due to their practice effects from switching between languages.
So basically, response inhibition is being able to execute the dispreferred response. This is basically executing the reverse of what someone says, and interference suppression is being able to ignore distractions and suppress irrelevant information in the environment. And Keshav will go into this further.
So, a notable experiment to test cognitive control was the Simon error task. Now, this task had three different conditions. It had the control, where an arrow was presented to either the right or left, pointing to the right or left, and the participant had to either press right or left. And the next condition was the reverse, which was an example of response inhibition, where the arrow pointed to the reverse and they had to do the opposite. And the last one was the conflict, which was an example of interference suppression, and where the arrow moved around, but they had to press the side that the arrow pointed. Now, the participants were monolinguals, young and old, and bilinguals, young and old.
So the results of this study basically showed that there was a significant difference where older bilinguals were better tuned to executive functioning. As you can see on our graph here, there was no difference between the young monolinguals and the young bilinguals and their ability to perform the Simon Arrow task. However, in the older monolinguals, they performed significantly slower on the reverse task, showing that their executive function was less compared to bilinguals. Or so it seemed.
So, some issues, especially in a replication crisis. Many studies previously recognized as solid foundational research have been recently under question. Enhanced executive control abilities in bilinguals is one of the topics that has been affected. There have been a few studies that have failed to replicate in any noticeable cognitive advantage of bilinguals. For example, Kenneth Papp of San Francisco State University attempted to replicate a study that used the Simon Arrow task, as mentioned before, but was unsuccessful.
So, what are our opinions and where can we go with this information? We think that maybe in certain regards, with certain constraints, executive function is improved in bilinguals.
However, because of the lack of replication in certain areas and the lack of well-controlled experiments, this is something that can be difficult to pinpoint.
So, for the future, hopefully we can find a way to control better for confounds, maybe such as language-specific confounds.
Or slightly more specific tasks to indicate the effects of bilingualism on cognitive control.